Tonight, a major development nearly 3 months on from an alleged murder at Lake Quarry. More arrests over an alleged riot involving hundreds at Newcastle. Concerns a planned rock quarry could impact the proposed Hunter gas pipeline. And Nabiac's Matt Croker, humble but proud in the lead up to his 100th NRL game.
This is NBN News with Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a major development in the investigation into a fatal stabbing at Lake Quarry. Reporter Tyson Cottrell joins us live. Tyson, one man has now been charged over his alleged role.
Yeah, good evening, Tash. That's right, an 18-year-old who is tonight in custody charged with murder. His arrest came early this morning at a home at Birmingham Gardens near Newcastle and was the culmination of an almost 3-month-long investigation by Strike Force Blave detectives. The police probe that began in April after 38-year-old Jake Roherty was fatally stabbed at Montgomery Street at Argenton. Police allege a group of up to 8 men forced their way into a unit where he was assaulted and attacked before the group fled. Tash, the 18-year-old will face a bail court tomorrow.
Tyson, thank you. There's been another string of arrests over an alleged riot at Mayfield last month. Police charging 4 more men and seizing almost 20 motorbikes in a widespread operation. High-speed rail connecting Sydney and Newcastle is another step closer with a delivery partner appointed for the development phase of the project. Global engineering firm Bechtel will help progress planning and procurement over the next 2 years. It's previously helped deliver the Sydney Metro and Western Sydney Airport. Energy giant Santos has launched a formal objection against a hard rock quarry seeking approval to operate at Elderslie near Singleton. Santos claims as plans stand, the site could disrupt the potential alignment of its own proposed Hunter gas pipeline, putting the project in the works for 17 years at risk. More than 180 people have written to oppose Bluestone's rock quarry, which would extract 30 million tonnes of material over 3 decades. Coffs Harbour Police are investigating reports of antisocial behaviour around Moonee Beach, Sapphire Beach and surrounding areas. Officers are conducting inquiries into a number of alleged incidents of assault and vandalism over the past month, including reviewing CCTV and speaking with witnesses. Police say regular patrols will continue across identified hotspots. A Stroud local has started a petition calling on the state government to take action on 2 intersections of the Pacific Highway. She wants to see overpasses built at Madawi Road and Buckets Way to make it safer for drivers. $10 million worth of upgrades to Port Macquarie's private hospital are drawing closer to completion. Demand for services is growing, with work expected to help match this need. As a coastal trough develops off the New South Wales east coast, local SES crews are urging those on the mid-north coast to prepare. Showers are expected to commence this evening and increase tomorrow.
We're not expecting to see any riverine flooding, but we may see some flash flooding occurring, especially in the upper catchment areas.
The SES is urging locals not to drive through flooded areas. The subject of the weather, let's take a quick look at today's top temperatures. Very cool start. Kempsey got down to 2 degrees, 19 today's top. Grafton 2 to 20 degrees. Yamba today topping out at 18. Emergency crews worked to free a driver after his tipper truck slammed into a power pole and rolled on Anderson Drive at Taro near Newcastle today. Electrical crews worked to isolate the area before the man was freed and taken to John Hunter Hospital in a stable condition. It capped off a busy afternoon for first responders sent to a separate crash where a 4-wheel drive ploughed into a Cameron Park home. No one was injured. The number of registered organ donors dropped last year, with experts believing Aussie families aren't discussing their wishes. One Hunter woman hopes to change that after a transplant gave her a second shot at life. Adam Murray's here now with sport. Matt Croker is a popular teammate at the Knights.
He sure is, Tash. Good evening. Even more so this week. He's set to play his 100th NRL match. The workhorse from Nabiac set to lead the way against the Sharks on Friday. And an F3 derby locked in to kick off the A-League season. Matt Croker was earmarked by the Knights as a future NRL player over a decade ago. And on Friday night, he'll play his 100th game in first grade. The journey has had its bumps in the road, but this season has become a lock in Justin Holbrook's side. The next generation of surfers are chasing valuable ranking points on day one of the Rip Curl Grom Search Oz Cup in Coffs Harbour. The youngest competitors set a high benchmark despite the tricky conditions. And the Surf Life-Saving Inflatable Rescue Boat Championships are underway in Southwest Rocks. The best IRB crews from across the country will battle it out on the water and test their life-saving abilities in rescue scenarios. New South Wales came away with the win in the state championships today after being neck and neck with Queensland. It's the first time in the competition's history the Sunshine State was defeated. And it did cause some brief contention, the result initially disputed. Jeez, it's all happening at the moment, Tash.
It is indeed. Thank you, Adam. Speaking of happening, the weather, well, we're in for some rain over the coming days. Lauren Kempe will tell us all about it after the break.
Scattered showers arrived along the east coast today, and we are being warned far northeastern New South Wales and southeastern parts of the Sunshine State will cop quite heavy rain between now and the weekend. Thank you to Sharon Mills for this great weather shot taken at Skenner's Head in the Northern Rivers. Plenty of locals have been making the most of clear skies there before they turn grey. Well, as you can see, light rain did fall in the country's southern corners overnight, but it was otherwise dry, especially inland in regions like the northwest, and that's what we'll continue to see there in the coming days. But along the eastern seaboard, skies will slowly become blanketed by cloud as a southerly flow drags moisture onshore. Now, the sting in this will come from a large area of low pressure and warm seas here in the Tasman. These two things will help to fuel both upper level and surface level troughs that are sitting on the edge of this high pressure ridge here until at least next Monday, and that means heavy falls will clip coastal zones from Coffs Harbour all the way up to southeast Queensland until then. Tomorrow, Adelaide and the Alice all the way up to Darwin are set to see mostly sunshine. It'll be a different story in Sydney though, reaching a top of 18, and Brisbane will get up to 21. Much of the mid-north coast shivered through a close to freezing morning today before eventually reaching the high teens throughout the region. Now, tomorrow we'll see moderate falls along the coastal fringe, heavier in very southern and northern parts of our region in the evening. It is set to get quite messy offshore as well, with southerly winds getting up to around 30 k's an hour. Now, temperature-wise, we'll see the mercury bump up overnight a little bit thanks to that increase in cloud cover before maxing out at 18 degrees in Taree, 19 in Kempsey and Southwest Rocks, 19 in Coffs Harbour after a low of 11 degrees. Coastal conditions for tomorrow, we've got strong wind warnings in place from the Quarry coast up to the Coffs coast. 2.5 metre seas with a similar swell. South to southeasterly winds up to 30 knots. The high tide in the morning at 9:30 with the afternoon low at 3:10. Sun to rise at around 6:45 and setting at a few minutes past 5. 19 degrees the top in Coffs Harbour tomorrow, but as you can see, some moderate to heavy falls sticking with us all the way through till the end of Sunday. There is a chance that these totals could be even higher. It is certainly worth keeping an eye on this system. Port Macquarie will see lighter falls over the course of the next 4 days, but still fairly reasonable, and then skies clearing on Monday. In Taree, we could get up to around 20 millimetres tomorrow, but those showers will begin to ease as we head into the weekend. And Grafton is set for some moderate falls as well, potentially heavier than these totals. And surfing conditions were incredibly flat at Port Macquarie today with no real decent sets on offer. It'll remain wind affected along the local coast until the end of the weekend. At this stage, we do have a much better swell on the offer later next week.
Thank you, Lauren, and that is NBN News for this Wednesday. Up next is 9's Hour of National News. Thanks for your company from all the team here. Good night.